Alright, welcome back everybody to Dice and Consequences. I am your humble Dungeon Master for this session, Jake Geedy. Along me around the table, as always, we got Savannah Baldwin, Savvy.
Hello.
We got Kirsty Hamilton. Kirsty, how you doing?
Good, how about you?
Good, I'm doing great. And then we've got, of course, Chris. You know what? I asked you your last name at the end of the last session, and I totally forgot it, man. I'm so sorry. Anyway, so Chris, say hi.
What's up?
There we go. All right. And then, of course, we've got Austin over there manning the mainsail. How you doing there, bud?
Hello. How's it going? Random.
It's great. All right, so here we go. So we are back for session 1 of Incarnate. So for those of you who followed along the last session, session 0, we kind of set up the world space and where we are right now. So now we're going to go ahead and get a little bit of discussion. I'm going to, well, not discussion necessarily. I'm going to basically tell everybody what's happened, where they are, and why they're at this place. So we are going to actually start. Who are we going to start with? Actually, let's roll. Let's do a quick dice roll here, shall we? That's how I think I'll figure it out here.
Just a regular D20?
Yeah, 1d20 here. Let's see. All right, that's all right. I was the one who was supposed to roll, but there's a nat 20 for me, so we're off to a good start for me, ladies and gentlemen. Alrighty, so moving along, we are going to go with Chris. So, or I should say, Lim. So, Lim, after everything that happened in your hometown, and after taking Lynn to the tram station and sending her off to the capital, you fell into, well, your own specific, and I'm trying to keep this as vague as possible because I don't want you guys to know just yet what he was doing, but you spent basically the last year and a half fighting for justice and doing everything that you were trying to do and set off, always looking for your nemesis. And finally, you felt you had him cornered, but it was actually a trap they sprung on you. And you have now stowed away aboard a ship headed north. You don't know where. All you know is the crew said they were headed north before you lost consciousness in the hull of the ship. Now, moving down to Usan. Usan, you have got your glider that you flew off of the very top of the monastery. And again, because of your actions and your non-attuneness to air, you basically just kind of glide, not so much actually fly like many of the other air lacers would, or that you've been kind of taught to. You're mostly just trying to get away as flames shoot up at you as you leave a smoldering, crumbling monastery. You can hear the remnants of the fighting below, but with your book in hand and with everything, you are now flying or gliding, wounded, trying to make your way up north. And moving along to the twins now, you have finished your ceremonies, and you finally graduated and all this stuff. And so now you're getting ready to head off. What's customary for the people of your lands is to travel to basically your ancestral homeland. That way you can kind of see more of your heritage and things like that, right? But since you guys are a mixed house, it's kind of up in the air where you want to go. Because of the mixed household, it's become a little more difficult for you guys to go to the north. So you guys are getting ready to head off to the Fire Islands. And we are going to now start with Usan. So Usan, you have awoken in the last several weeks have been mostly a blur to you. You have flashes of the conflict. You have flashes of your travels. You have weird images of things that you're not sure was actually you or your life. It feels like glimpses of something else, as if all of those memories are coming from far down a tunnel at you. But you awake in a hay pile in the middle of a cold barn, being roused awake by a unfamiliar white-furred creature.
How big is this creature exactly?
It is, upon further inspection, it's about the size of a bear. But you've never seen this thing before, so if you want to, I'll give you let's see, what would we fall that under? Not animal handling, but, let's see, you've read some books, so let's go with a history check. How about that?
Okay. An 18.
An 18. This is the long purple tongue, actually, of this animal, is, kind of the thing that gives it away. It's a polar giraffe is what it actually is. So
of course, a polar giraffe.
A polar giraffe. So it's not very long necked or huge like a normal giraffe, but it's kind of like a cross between like a polar bear and a giraffe, basically. And it's used primarily in this area for actually carrying packs and things like that, long distances. And it's there just with its long, like I said, purple tongue lapping your face.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and just kind of try to push it out gently, not be aggressive or anything.
So,
but as I'm doing so, I'm also going to try to reach for my stuff to see if I have everything on me.
Okay, so as you push it away, it kind of goes like, and kind of steps away, kind of like, hey, man, I was doing you a favor. And it kind of, walks away and goes to start drinking from the trough. As you reach over to your side, you do find your rucksack, and it does have pretty much everything that you. Upon normal inspection, you see basically everything is still there. It is a little bit lighter, like you've eaten some of the provisions or things like that, but it's mostly there.
My book's in there, yes.
Yes, and opening it up, you do feel like the familiar, like, slight vibration and hum it kind of gives off. It's there still.
Okay.
And the only thing that is out of place is you notice that your right hand, the sleeve that had appeared when you first interacted with the book, is now glowing a vibrant red now, which is nothing new. It's brighter and more in focus than it has been, and it's been getting this way over the last several weeks, as far as you can really remember.
Well, is there a door in this the barn per se?
Yes, yeah. It's so as you get up and kind of dust yourself off, you hear a big sliding ice sheet slide across, and in a very thick parka, in steps a woman carrying some frost fruit and things like that, and begins to kind of start dumping them into the trough. And she turns and looks at you and gasps, and kind of lets out like a scream and drops the basket.
All right. I go and stand up as I can, apologizing as I go ahead and try to make my way out. Covering my markup best I can.
Yeah, so as you step towards her, she doesn't understand you. She doesn't understand your language. She doesn't understand you.
Yes.
And she is now terrified. You see that you are actually about a good foot and a half taller than her. And she looks terrified. Her eyes dilate wide. She just turns around and starts like trying to get away from you as quickly as possible, like tripping and falling on the snow as she gets, and she's yelling in this, language you've never heard really.
Well, like I said, I'm just going to try to make my way out best I can.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead and so as you make your way out, you see that she is now making her way to, she's probably about 100 yards off now. You see like big swaths in the snow and stuff cut out, And it's almost shocking how quickly she moved that 100 yards. Like, you've taken about 7 steps to the door, and she is now already, after falling and slipping, she's already like 100 yards away from you. But you do see again the swaths of snow kind of pushed out of the way and almost like riding it like a wave almost. And she's at this, for all intents and purposes, a fancy igloo. And she is like hammering on the sides, yelling and looking back at you and just like hammering on it. And as you step outside, there is basically an open field of what look like flowers to you. They're a cool blue with a brilliant, vibrant red, I guess. Oh, what are the pollen collectors in flowers? Oh, the stela?
Stamen.
Stamen, that's what it is. Yeah, so basically the stamen in there is a brilliant, vibrant red. And they're basically as far as the eye can see, and they look like they're being cultivated, like it's actually like a crop.
Very interesting, this place. So she's just hammering on that door, right?
Yeah. And
I suppose it wasn't do any good to run. I don't know where I am.
Yeah. So, okay. So do you just like sit down in the snow or something?
Yeah, we just hang out.
Okay. Yeah. So you sit down and you feel a burn on your right arm as the sleeve begins to like pulsate and the book begins to hum a little louder. Go ahead and give me a wisdom, wisdom check real quick.
Wisdom check.
Yeah, just a check.
18.
You can hear this whisper almost in the back of your head that is urging you to run. That they could discover us, they could find us, and it's just basically running down all of these things that could happen. And you feel uneasy and like you feel an urge to run, but it's not so powerful that it will make you go. It's just more of a very strong suggestion from the voice in your head.
What else is around here?
So looking around to the east, there is the ocean. There's a very wide ice field out there, and looking further along the coastline, you do see what looks like a small settlement kind of out there. It looks like similar architecture, but it looks also kind of funny because there are weird other buildings in there that definitely do not match the architecture of the area. At least what you've seen.
There's no boats out there, out by the ocean?
Oh, yeah, there are boats. There are everything from small fishing boats to larger steamships. Think like river boats, mostly, like big paddle boats. Things that are like giant ferries, essentially. No big, like, steamliners or any kind of, like, long-range transportation ship, but local transit and, like, work boats, basically.
Well, I kind of figured, I guess talking to my inner monologue since no one else is here, that somebody would know where I came from. It'd probably be on a boat. So I was going to go to where all the boats are, probably with those different looking buildings.
Okay, so as you turn around and as you stand up and turn around and begin to walk away, or are you running or are you going to walk? I don't want to tell you what to do.
I'm not gonna like sprint per se, but I am light on my feet.
Okay, so you're gonna fast walk away. It's
just full on speed walk arms.
Yeah, yeah. Well, so
I'm not gonna like sprint. I'll like jog.
Yeah. So you're finding it a little more difficult to move in here because you've never seen really snow before. At least not snow like this.
Oh, it's like pretty deep, huh?
Yeah, it's about shin high. In the non-cultivated areas, like where you were standing and where you were sitting before, was pretty packed down, and it was actually like the permafrost there, so it wasn't thick. It was easy to walk on. But going on to the non-cultivated parts of the non-manicured areas, you're in about shin deep snow, and so you do like your normal like monk fast walk kind of thing away. And as you do that, you hear this whistling, and a giant icicle whizzes right by your ear, missing you by centimeters, and lands and explodes, boom, or not explodes, but pops, basically, in the ground. Not doing any damage to you, but hitting you with little bits of crushed ice.
All right, so I figure I'll take a look back, like a little look over my shoulder as I start sprinting away.
So you're now in a deadpan, like you're kicking your legs up high, trying to get going. Give me an athletics check.
Athletics. How about an acrobatics?
Okay, I will let you give me an acrobatics check if you can explain to me how you could.
There's buildings nearby, yeah?
Not really. They're pretty far away.
Never mind, we'll do the athletics then. That's kind of what I figured.
Well, how about this? You are rather acrobatic, so maybe you could do like front flips and stuff and like trying to like...
I don't know, I don't think that would help on the snow though, is what I was thinking. Like I was thinking if I can jump up and climb up the side of a building, perhaps.
I was like, normally if you were using like your air stuff, I would say, okay, yeah, you can like jump and then like use the air to like push you forward and like do like flips and stuff. But since you,
let's try to struggle through this snow.
Okay, so struggle through this. Okay, so go ahead and give me the athletics check.
A 16. That's 16. Good.
Yeah, actually, yeah. So you are now. So you're kicking your legs up real high, and you're not...
when I looked over my shoulder, who did I see who casted that, or placed it, rather?
Yes, so looking back slightly, you see another one whiz right by your nose. And it's there's a very tall man who looks more like a giant than a human, is just hucking these things like javelins at you. He's wearing the same sort of big fur parka, and the girl is pushing the snow out of the way, and like there are snow mounds attached to her feet, and she is like moving fast, clearing a lot of distance with each motion, like she's stirring the snowdrift behind her.
All right.
But you still have a sizable lead on them, and because of that athletics roll, you're not sprinting, like you're not in a full deadpan sprint, but you're running literally as fast as humanly possible in the snow, and are a good distance away from them. Still within, javelin range, but not, deadly javelin range. Right. He's throwing these at disadvantage. So, what do you want to do?
There's no way I can get to some cover, with some buildings or anything.
Let's see here. Okay, go ahead and give me one more athletics check, and then one acrobatics check.
Okay. The athletics first, a 18.
Okay, that's fantastic.
And the acrobatics is a crit fail, a 6.
Oh. Okay, so here we go, Usan. So we're gonna go ahead and drag you in here. So you have managed to miraculously outpace these people who are literally moving the earth to try and stop you. There are several buildings here you've now reached. Now go ahead and pick a building.
Okay. So if I take it, they're coming from the south then?
Yes, they're coming from the south. Yeah, hang on, let me go ahead and draw that.
We're going to do this one right to my right.
Okay.
To the east.
So as you go to do your acrobatics jump over there, one last true strike icicle hits you in the shin, or not the shin, the calf. It shatters on impact, and it doesn't pierce your skin or anything like that, but it feels like your leg just got hit by a truck.
Yeah, I'll let out a gasp as I'm still struggling away.
And you jump in and crash through an ice, an ice window, and are now in the middle of what looks like a small house.
Is anyone in here?
No,
nobody having dinner.
No one's.
Breakfast?
No, everyone.
Lands on the table.
Yeah, nobody is in here. There is like a small like kotatsu in the middle of the room that is giving off some heat, so you can tell that somebody probably started it and is, keeping it warm. It's a very small house, maybe 3 rooms in it total, counting this great room you're in.
Well, try not to miss a beat. Is there another window on the far side?
Yes, there is there's a door. There's an opening.
Oh, there's a door.
Yeah.
I'll open the door and start running out that way.
Okay,
then.
well, you don't have to. Well, it's just archway. You don't have to. So you run through the door.
I see. It's an arch. Okay.
Yeah. So
I run back out in the street, and we'll try to continue running north.
Okay.
Trying to use these buildings as like cover, basically.
Okay, let me go ahead and make a couple quick rolls here. Okay, great. So you manage. You're continuing to make it north down this main stretch here. As you kind of glance around, you see that you're in what looks like a shopping area. It's everything is kind of like stalls are kind of arrayed out. And you're heading down what looks like a main drag. And at the very end of this thing, walking down, I'm assuming arm in arm, are the 2 twins going to the market. All right, so, guys.
What's all that commotion about?
I don't know. It sounded like ice shattering or something.
Let's go check it out.
Okay.
What language do I speak exactly?
So you speak...
What's the language of the airfolk?
The airfolk here. Let's go ahead and bring that up here. So, for those of you who don't know, most other people speak the same language or similar dialect of the same language, except for the people in the Northern Water Clan in the polar area in the very north there, because they are very much about tradition, and so they speak their own traditional language. And the monks in the air nomad people, or not the air nomads, the airkin or whatever they are. Monks. Are they monks?
Monk.
Yeah, the air monks.
Yes, I came from monks.
Yes, the air monks. They speak their own language, the traditional language of the air folk.
It says Vayu.
Yeah, Vayu. So you do.
I speak both the common language and our monk speak though.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but your common speak is basic conversational. And it's mostly because you haven't had to use it, and most of the time, and because of how old you were about to go off to, probably do your peacekeeping stuff and things like that. And so what would have happened is you would have been given, specific training on where you were going to go and about the culture of the people, so you could blend in, so you would know how not to make social faux pas and things like that. And you would also learn the language. You would get a crash course in the language. So
and the people in the north speak Imic too. If you're saying the ones in the way north that don't break from tradition, they wouldn't speak common.
Yeah, no, they speak Imic. And most of the stuff you guys actually speak is kind of like a mixed language of Imic and what's the fire folk?
Kasai.
So you speak basically Imic and Kasai, hybrid mishmash language. So it's kind of like having slang from a different language interspersed in your stuff. So you can understand people who speak both languages, but the same word for, that someone would call for fire in a fireplace would be the same thing, but you guys would understand it as, like a bonfire or something that's cool, something like that, right? Mm-hmm. It's a similar kind of thing like that. And most people kind of think you speak kind of like a dog language of it, basically, because it's not one and it's not the other. It's kind of mashed in.
Yeah.
So there you go. So you're right into commotion.
Do we see what's happening?
So you guys are like, what do I? So you hear this loud shattering, smash, and an oof, like that, and somebody letting out a gasp, oh god, as someone is. But flying.
I'll come running out the door, right?
Yeah.
And I'll start running up north towards them, and I'll just let a help as I try to run past them.
But can we even understand him?
So so as he's sprinting up the way, it's like you're like, what's going on? And then bursting, stumbling out of one of the houses, and then sprinting madly down the street, you see this guy. He makes eye contact with you and acknowledges your presence and yells "Abda!" at you.
Okay, but do we speak common too?
Yes.
Okay.
But again, yours is probably about the same as his.
Oh God.
Maybe a little bit more.
An Italian or Russian and Hispanic man will walk into a bar. That's critical to see.
What's happening?
At least the Italian and the Spanish guy can sort of understand each other.
Yeah.
Same base, at least.
So he basically goes like that at you. And then
can we look and see if it looks intimidating or something? You know what I mean?
Well, we don't recognize them because we know everybody here pretty much.
Yeah.
So can we I don't know, a perception or an insight or something?
Give me a perception and an insight check. Go ahead.
Oh, both. Okay. Well, my perception was a 6. And my wisdom was an 8.
Okay.
Insight was an 8.
Asuna, are you gonna roll an insight there as well?
Yeah. Yep. Working on it.
All right. So we have a 6 and an 8 and a 4 and a 4.
Is that the right one?
No. That's perception.
God damn it! I can't even find it.
Insight. It's on your skills list.
It's on the skills list.
Oh shit! There it is. Wait, no, that's not it. Oh, there it is. Right under history.
There. Okay, so it's still a 4.
It doesn't matter.
So 4 of wow, man,
For teenage girls.
A lot of multiples of 2 right there, guys.
Oh yeah.
So anyway,
we are twins.
Yeah. So you guys see this tall, gangly, white-haired, spindly armed person sprinting at you. You've never seen anybody like this. You've never seen anybody of this skin tone, of having pure white snow hair. You've never seen anybody this lanky. Everybody you've seen is pretty hardy and well put together because you live in a harsher climate.
But he looks like a ghost.
And these and you've never seen these clothes or anything before. This guy, you're pretty sure that this guy is the Dewhawk, who is a folklore story of the northern tribe that basically says, it's a tall snow spirit man that has that is there to lure women and children out into the snowbanks, basically to kill them or to take their spirits, and then they'll inhabit the body of their victim.
Oh no.
And spirits exist and everything like that, but there has been no evidence that this thing exists at all. But it's one of those stories that you tell small children.
Like fucking Krampus.
Yeah. It's
like Krampus.
Yeah, it's a story you tell small children to keep them from going out into the snowfields, unaccompanied and stuff like that. Because it's dangerous because it's cold, but kids don't understand that, but they do understand the boogeyman.
We're threatened by this person who's running at us. I'm gonna elemental strike at him.
Yeah, so you just hear him go blah, 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 in a language that you've never heard, and
just kind of like a warning thing, you know?
Yeah,
it's okay because I crit fail, so it doesn't hit him.
So you go and you go to strike, and Asuna, who is always more bullheaded, steps forward to go hey, stop, and just gets clobbered in the back of the head with
I fall on my face
with a water ice shard, and goes boom, and hits and just falls down onto the ground.
Seeing this, I understand that I'm really in the middle of a battle,
Yeah. So Usan, you managed to like skid to a halt like right here in the basically in between the market area and the other houses, and you see this one woman just boom get face planted into the thing from the back of the head, just boom right into the ice road.
Oh gosh, I helped my sister up.
Hey, real quick, Usan,
Why are you hitting me?
what do you do, Usan?
I missed.
Okay, I shrug it off.
Real quick, you're still on the ground. You screamed and like closed your eyes, and now you look and see that you hit your sister. Usan, you skidded to a halt. Usan, your go.
All right. We dash off to the east now through this opening.
Okay, so you take a dash. Let's see how far we can get here. So now we're going to.
I dash 90 feet through that right there.
Okay,
Do that, boys.
So let's go
Between those two buildings.
So
Yes.
we're gonna say, so you stopped, skidded to the halt, you saw the attack, and then sprinted off this way, and are now here.
Oh my goodness.
That's pretty far.
I'm pretty fast.
Yeah, he is pretty fast. So go ahead and
Are you putting more buildings?
yes,
It's generating as I run.
exactly. That's
It's like a really, really poorly like.
Running fast at the speed of light, so everything appears behind him. The rest is dark.
yeah.
The world is loading in still.
Yeah, y'all better be careful because if you get too far away, like you just disappear, you just despawn. That's what I was like.
Right.
There's only so much RAM in the DM memory, so like it has to cut. I have to find somewhere to free up some RAM and VRAM. We're already running on lowest settings here. So anyway, moving along. Nobody else probably got that joke, but that's fine. So Usan runs up, skids to a halt, goes yee, and sprint. Then with power of a quick spurt of wind, sprints off in the opposite direction as Kyaru helps Asuna up from her face plant.
Why did it hit me?
I didn't mean to. I was the guy surprised me, and I was gonna hit him, but
Where did he go?
I think he went to our left. I don't know how far he is because he's around the corner, but
Well, we have to catch him.
Oh no.
we gotta catch him.
Two teenage girls to the rescue.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys have main character syndrome so bad, it's amazing. I don't even have to coax it.
Exactly. Okay, so I can run diagonally. So if I run across the map, I can make it there, which is 30 feet. And then from here, that's 50 feet.
Yes,
How
indeed.
far can the elemental strikes go? I forgot.
Oh, you can look at it right there. 20 to 60 feet.
To 60?
Yeah.
So it's so 20 feet is neither advantage nor disadvantage, and then 20 to 60 is long range. So it's made a disadvantage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So this you will be. Yeah. It'll be at the very extent of your ability, but you can fire.
But I can also spend a key point. Oh, no, sorry, that's about cover, not... So it would give me, it would ignore special effects of cover is the thing I was looking at, but that won't help. Okay, so is it my turn?
Yes, it's your turn.
Okay, so I'm gonna run to here, and I'm going to do another elemental strike to try and slow him down, I guess, because there's only so far I can move.
Okay, go ahead.
And I'll be...
Damn.
A nat 1 and a nat 20. So, with disadvantage, that's
That's a crit fail.
That's a crit fail right there.
fail.
So
Well,
again,
like dog shit.
so real quick, but before we say what happens in that crit fail, Asuna, what do you do?
Okay, well, can we have a quick intermission while I ask a question about a thing?
Yeah, go
So,
ahead.
Gleaming Strike is a bonus action, correct?
What was that?
So, Gleaming Strike is a bonus action.
Yes.
So, I'm trying to understand, like, at what, like, level can I go? Can I, like, cast Gleaming Strike, then run, then attack? Is that, because, like...
Yes.
That works?
What does Gleaming Strike cost an action?
No,
it's a bonus action.
Yeah, it's a bonus action.
Then yes, you can.
I can do all of the above? I can cast it...
In that order, you do it in any order you like. You can move, bonus action, then action. You can action, move, then bonus action. The world's yours.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
am ready.
You just can't use 2 bonus actions or 2 actions unless you have a special effect that allows you to do that.
Okay, I am ready.
Okay.
So, I wish to cast Gleaming Strike.
All right.
So that increases my speed by 30 feet.
Okay.
And it also gives me advantage on 1 elemental strike. And if the attack hits, it's an additional 1d8.
Yeah.
Great. All right. Go ahead. So go ahead and make your movement there real quick.
Okay, so hold on. What is my movement now? Like 60?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're moving 60.
Just move to me.
30?
And that's 30.
Well, she's probably going to hit me.
And that's 60 right there.
Why don't you go around me?
Yeah, I'd rather go around her, please. I don't want to get a faceplant in the snow again.
Okay.
Well, she could go to the square above. You don't
That's fine. That's fine.
Like.
Are you moving the full 60?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm trying to catch up with this guy.
Okay.
That's
so there
better.
you are. All right.
Now, I have advantage on an elemental strike.
Okay.
So that means you have neither advantage nor disadvantage.
Yeah. Now.
Wait, are you in range with me?
Yeah, she's in range.
25.
Here's the only problem now. So you cast your Gleaming Strike and you prep your
Why do I always have to hit?
God damn it.
and you prep your Elemental Strike and you go to launch it and you go, and you kick the fire, you get the step kick for the fireball and you get splattered, you get slammed into the wall and stuck up on the wall by like an ice sheet that kind of goes and like keeps your arms and like knocks you up, and you launch the fire up into the air.
Just back
and
like 30 feet behind. Sorry.
Yeah, and it just flames up in the air.
I swear to the water spirits, you hit me one more time.
So there's that, and
I'm not trying to.
let's see. The last one didn't do damage. Hang on, I'm gonna roll for something here. Okay, no, it's not gonna do damage to you. Not gonna do damage to you either. It pushed you up against the wall, but it didn't like hurt you. It just kind of like froze you in place. And Usan, you're up.
There's some stuff going on behind me, huh?
Yeah, you've heard this like an explosion. You're like, oh my god, what are they shooting at me?
How close am I to those the boats or the other buildings?
What was that?
How close am I to those other buildings or those ships?
Okay, so the ships are rather far south because the coastline is south.
Probably take me a while to get here, especially with a couple goons after me. This building here has an archway, right? Most of them have archways?
So this one is actually a different kind of architecture. So it's not made out of ice. It's actually made out of what looks like brick and mortar or wood and stuff like that. It looks it's a completely different architecture style than the other one that you were just in.
Okay, and this one down south.
And that one down south also is of a different.
They have doors. These?
Yes, they have what look kind of like sliding grooved doors. They look pretty flimsy, actually.
All right, I'll try to run up to this one and slide it open.
Just 10 feet. Okay, so bonus action to open it. And standing inside, you see a counter with a person standing there behind the counter, kind of like looking like there was an explosion outside. What's going on? And he looks at you and is kind of like, customer?
Does he say that?
Well, he says...
he's looking at me.
Yeah, he looks at you and then he says, Iroda, like that at you. But kind of is like...
I'll grunt it like, you speak common?
And he goes, how are you?
I get inside.
By today?
And as an action, get the door shut quickly.
Okay.
I need help.
And he goes.
Like the worst possible scenario.
So again, in like this broken common, you go like.
Help!
Like
I didn't say help.
Like I help need like that, and he goes. No, door open, stay open. He goes buy goods. But again, like all of this stuff is like half common, half like this, gobbledygook that he's speaking.
I don't have a coin to my name. Does he have a window in here?
Yeah, there's a window out the back of the shop. It's slightly raised up off the ground, or off the on the wall, and there's like a back room off to the right. But there's one. Is
it a glass window or is it just open?
It is it is a circular window with looks like sticks, basically, as like a cross. Cross sticks in there.
I roll my shoulders, preparing myself as I'll make an acrobatics check to leap through it. A 22.
So you go like you look, you see the window, and you're like, I've got this. You run up. You step on the counter. He yells, go like, "Hey, what are you doing?" Like that, and you push off of his forehead gently. Like you don't kick him in the face.
No, no.
What normally would have been somebody basically planting him in the ground. You gently tap off of him, and a gust of wind comes. This little gust of wind comes out of your feet, and you go catapulting through, snapping these twigs and stuff in half, and combat rolling basically outside the back of the store.
And I'll hunker down here and try to not get spotted by anyone running by.
Okay, so you guys are gonna have to make. Okay, here's the thing.
I can make a stealth check.
Yeah, I was like, so here's the thing. Okay,
all right.
Yeah, we can do that.
That doesn't matter then.
22 again.
It's because I was trying to figure out what we would do here, because you've lost line of sight, but he doesn't have a bonus action to make anything else.
No.
So
I suppose I'm just behind the building then.
Yeah. We saw him go into the building at least.
Yes.
Yeah. So he's at least probably in the building. That's where you saw him last. You did hear some crashing and stuff like that, but nothing else like that. Okay. I'm gonna roll with the stealth check there, and we're gonna go with that, just so that way you're hiding. And so you hear this, and you hear this. Hey, what are you doing? I just want to wait. Stop! You hear just this crashing in there, and go ahead and give me a perception check real quick.
13. Ooh, not 20!
Oh my god. Okay, so Asuna is on the case. She is now angry that she hasn't been able to catch this guy twice, because her sister has and she is about ready to level a city block to stop this man. And she just kind of sticks her head up in the air and just kind of goes and listen, then there's
broken ice glass.
Yeah, and lets out steam and smoke out of her nostrils, and goes, "He's through the building." And so,
we're the right ones on the case, apparently.
Well, I mean, you got a nat 20. I gotta let you do something with that. You don't know he's behind the building, but you know he is making a ruckus in the building, and that he's definitely trying to escape.
Okay, so I don't think I know he's in the building or out of the building. Do I know any of that?
You know that he is still in the general area of that building. Whether he's inside or outside,
I could run to the front door and peek my head in if you want to do anything else.
I'm still thinking, so go ahead. You should go first anyway.
Okay, so that's 60 feet, so it's a full dash, but I can still ask the person if he's seen them, right?
Yeah.
So I get right to the entrance, and I yell in.
And you see,
I was gonna yell a random name. But
you see the
was gonna be like, hey, Jim.
So you
see anybody run through here?
you see nice old Mr. Klein actually in there.
Mr. Klein.
Mr. Klein. He's
Jim Klein.
Jim Klein.
Yeah, okay, yes, okay. Sir Jim Klein.
My name's Yaru, but whatever.
Yeah. Well, that's why I said Klein, because it could be literally anything. Okay, fine. You find Mr. Korematsu. There you go. Nice old Mr. Korematsu. There we go.
Hey, I know Mr. Korematsu lives in the volcano, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. Anyway, so
I ask him if he's seen this tall, like, gangly dude.
As you step into the building, you see that old Mr. Korematsu is through his floor. He's slightly through his floor. He is the gust of wind that Usan used to push off of him gave him enough speed to go through the window, but also that force has got to go somewhere, and so it went straight down on top of Mr. Korematsu, and so he basically got pushed through the floor of his knick-knack shop. Basically, he's a general repairman. You guys know he's the guy who fixes like the your grandma's wicker furniture and things like that. He does all like the general like antique fixes and things like that. And he is like now like basically arms up and waist deep in his floor, and he goes, "Kyaru dear, is that you?"
Yeah. Did you see a guy run through here?
This was no man. He was the Dumak.
Oh shit!
Hide the children.
Well,
grab your sister and run. There's nothing you can do. Don't be a hero, child.
Hero's my middle name.
Well, that's really all I can do for that round, except relay that information to Asuna, I suppose.
So what do you tell to Asuna? So what would you say to your sister after the nice neighborhood repairman has been planted into his floor and has frantically told you, "Don't go after him. Don't be a hero." Take your sister and run.
That Mr. Korematsu's stuck in his floor and he says not to go after him. But did I see if the window was broken or anything? Do I need to do perception?
You would have to do perception, but see, you dashed, so that is...
that's what I was saying. I don't think I could do anything else.
No, so you can't. You just kind of got in there and like seen, oh god. But seeing your character, how would you tell your sister this?
I would say, he's messed up, Mr. Korematsu. Hold on, don't go after him without me.
Go after him without you. Got it.
No.
All right, Asuna, it is your table. You've kind of got into hunter mode.
Okay, so if I walk past this building, he's gonna be in my line of sight, like halfway through, right?
Yes, but
okay.
But you're gonna have to make another perception check, and he's gonna have to make another stealth check. And basically, what's gonna happen is, if he fails and you succeed, then he's still gonna get advantage to try to get away before you can react, because he did roll a 22 on his stealth.
Yeah, he killed that one.
Yeah, so I've got to balance this somehow. So that's how we'll do it. So go ahead and go around the corner there.
Oh god.
I do what you're gonna do. So, right, go on without him.
I move about here, which I think would be where it is.
That's
that's 20.
Yeah, that's 20 feet.
Okay, then I roll perception.
Okay.
Oh god.
7. So
very good roll.
Very good.
The best.
yeah, fantastic. So you're like,
goddamn.
So you're predator. So you're still in predator mode. So you're still like zoned in. Like he's here somewhere. Where is he? And so now you're like, all right, where are you, you little bitch? I got you. Where are you? And you're frantically looking just down the alleyway because you were certain he was in the alleyway. And
but I don't see him.
Yeah, and Usan, you like the book hums and your sleeve glows again, and your eyes kind of roll back in your skull for a second, and you feel yourself kind of like melting away. You are now looking like through a vignette almost, and it's as if you've literally become one with the shadow behind the building.
We blend in.
So Usan is now hidden. Asuna is now like sniffing around, frantically trying to find him.
Oh my god.
Yeah, or whatever way she means to track him. And we're basically stomping up a storm here. And Kiaru, you are still at the entrance to the shop. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys one last opportunity here. And Austin, you're gonna get advantage on stealth rolls and basically anything you can use to kind of get away.
Okay.
So we're rolling perception again?
Well, we're
gonna keep trying.
You're doing what you got to do. It's your character. You can do whatever you want.
Okay, obviously not down this alley, so I would run past Kiaru and keep looking around. I wouldn't even bother with the building. Like the character would run past.
Okay, so you ran right past. Okay.
Yes. Not really thinking, not really planning. Asuna would just run past. Okay, not down this alley. Keep going.
Okay. Are you gonna try to make another perception check or no?
Probably. After running past the building, make a perception.
Okay, you're going to be at disadvantage because he's not in near line of sight, and there's just a small alleyway that you would be able to see. So go ahead.
That makes sense. That's figures.
And
lost the scent.
Yeah, you're just like, I lost the scent. Damn it! And you just push your fist down on the ground, and another fire kind of thing just kind of comes around you, and it melts all the snow around you. So all of the tracks that he could have made are completely gone.
Of course, naturally.
Yeah, because you've been running around in such a huff, your body heat has literally melted all the snow around you. Not to mention that. All right, Kiaru, you're up.
Kiaru would just run in, seeing Asuna run to the side and kind of lose him. Kiaru would just kind of run in and check on Mr. Korematsu and try to help him out because she figures he's gone. So
you reach Mr. Korematsu and he is limp. He is fainted. He is fainted.
Oh no!
I thought I killed him. I was like, oh jeez.
He just fainted. He's not making death saves or anything.
No. He just fainted. He's like, and just kind of collapses. Okay. Just imagine this, okay? The story that he's been telling probably his grandchildren, and he told his children or things like that. That was never real, and it was like, oh, ha ha ha, it's not real, but it's this big joke for on the children, right? It's real. All of the stories are real, and he is now his whole world has just been shattered.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to prop him up in the chair.
Okay. All right. Give me a strength check to get him out of the floor.
Okay. That's a 4 because I can't roll anything higher.
All right. So you go but his even though he's an old man, he's still a little too heavy. Just kind of and the way he's planted in there, he's you can't quite pull him out. You're just kind of going, and just kind of lifting him up maybe a couple inches and then having to set him back down.
Okay. I guess I try to wake him up then.
Okay, go ahead. How?
What is that? Medicine?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oop, did not go. Oh, there it is. 10.
So you're okay. And you go and grab your medicinal water and stuff like that. And you're okay, but your hands are shaking because, you're still in the adrenaline of the whole situation. Not to mention it has not been your best performance, and you are kind of
it's not been a good day.
Yeah, and you're oh god, and so you fumble with the water a little bit, and you just kind of go, and you're stirring him the rustling and stuff kind of stirs him, and he just kind of goes, Kiaru dear, and you go boom, and you hit him with an ice. You freeze the water, and it knocks him back out.
What? No, a 10 medicine check.
Yes, a 10 medicine check.
Oh, come on.
There you go. You're under a lot of stress. That's what happened. You didn't.
No, I'm afraid to roll.
Yeah, no kidding.
I kid.
So you managed to knock him back out.
Great.
There we go. Granted, he's not fainted anymore.
There we go.
So there's that.
But he's knocked out.
He's knocked out. He's still unconscious. All right, Usan, you're up.
Where does We're vibing here.
you're hiding there. Okay, so as you continue to hide, you again have melted into the shadow, and you feel like you've become completely one with it, and you're slowly starting to physically slip away from where you were. You feel like your whole thing, and as the sleeve on your arm, you don't see it, but you feel it again, like soothe, like almost like aloe vera on a burn. And so as Usan wakes up, two other people come running down. Your friend Leah comes like snow sprinting down the street, and like skids to a stop, kicking up a little bit of a berm in front of her, and is looking at you, Asuna, and she goes, "Yo, Suna, did you see a gangly man run by here?"
Oh, I saw him.
He was getting funny with our polar giraffes.
Oh my god!
What?
He's around here somewhere. I can't find him though.
Well, Dad's in a mighty anger. I don't know if he's gonna. We better find him quick. And so then she goes and she kind of like starts skating. She's like, "I'm gonna go warn the village," and she again starts skating away. Down. Then a couple minutes later, walks this same large, gorilla man, probably about average size for what you guys have seen. Yeah, just a stout built man. Looks very much like Leah. He steps up and he goes, "Oh, good morning, Asuna. How are you?"
Good morning, sir. I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. Well, I gotta tell you, there was somebody that was in our polar giraffe barn, and we saw him sprinting off this way. I'm sure Leah found you.
Yeah, he ran this way, but I can't seem to find him.
Hey,
And my sister keeps hitting me in the face.
Like, oh well. You tell her to not do that. Hey, what happened to Mr. Korematsu's shop?
I think he went in there. I don't know. I can't find him.
And he goes, "Okay, child, you stay back." And he like rolls up his parka and goes, "All right, come out, you."
Oh no.
Okay, so you're not gonna come out. I'm gonna come in after you, then, boy. And he comes thundering in. He kind of has like a bit of a blizzard kind of conjured around him. Kind of hears some movement behind the counter, steps in, and with a fist coated in ice, reaches over the thing and goes, and he goes, "Kyoru!" Boom! And punches the wall and shatters what was probably a very expensive Arctic wood dresser. And just splinters the thing.
Does this go through the wall that I'm by?
No, but it vibrates the wall next to you.
You're like, uh-oh.
But
I understand they're executing the man inside. I don't know what for.
you feel the vibrations, but they feel very far away. You've actually feel like you're not bothered by the physical responses right now.
Okay.
You've become so otherworldly at this point. And so he goes, "Oh my goodness!"
The snow spirit ran in here and pushed Mr. Korematsu into the floor, and then he fainted, and then I accidentally knocked him out again, and I'm trying to wake him up.
And he goes, "Oh, honey." and he hops over the thing.
It's been a bad day.
he hops over the thing, and with a strong but surprisingly gentle touch, he picks you up and puts you on your feet, and then grabs Mr. Korematsu and just lifts him up with no trouble whatsoever, sits him down in the chair. All right, Kyaru, why don't you run and go get your grandmother? I think Mr. Korematsu is going to need some stiff tea, and it looks like he may have hurt his legs.
Okay, now that he's kind of okay, can I take a peek around real quick?
Yeah, sure.
Like, just to see what happened?
Yeah, go ahead.
Just a perception?
Yes.
15.
Okay. The shop is pretty destroyed right now in the back area. You do notice that the stuff on the countertop, there's like snow and usually like a thin layer of like diamond dust, like snow, usually covers pretty much everything. Kind of like that's what you have for dust. It's not really dust, it's snow, right? And there is a portion that is like spun in a circle, like a strong force of wind was centered on this area. You can't tell anything else there's no other real clues you can see at this point. You don't really take into account the window because you think that just happened when Leah's father, did an ice fist into the wall.
Okay, well, I better go get my grandma.
Okay. So you leave, and I'm assuming you're going to take Asuna with you.
Yeah, we're going.
I'll let her know what happened and see if she wants to tag along.
I'll come with you. I don't know what else I can do. Apparently I can't find this man.
Well, apparently I can't hit anything except for you. So.
Bring your water.
Alrighty. And so with that, you guys, you head off, and we're going to go ahead and say Usan goes ahead and melts away. Gets away scot-free, no issues whatsoever.
Easy. Well, I'll try to make my way over to the boats if I can.
Okay. Now on the other side of the island, or just a little bit further downtown, Lim is awoken to a ding ding of a loud steam horn.
Well, guess I'm here. Wherever this is.
Yeah. So you are in the bowels of this large ship that you hitched a ride back on in the kingdom, and you don't know how long you've been down here. You are very heavily bandaged. The fight that you had took every ounce.
So this isn't long after.
So it is a little whiles after, but the wounds weren't treated properly, right? You had little to no treatment of the wounds. Like, you bandaged yourself up and like what you knew, but that wasn't a whole lot.
So wait, so while I was in prison, I was essentially just laying there, just festering injuries. Oh.
Yeah. So you've been out of prison for a couple years now.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and that's when you took Lynn to the tram and everything, right? And the stuff with Gran and everything like that, right? So you have been doing your other work for about a year and a half.
So I'm guessing I fell asleep in the ship after a fight didn't go so well.
Yeah, you passed out on the ship. So what happened was you finally tracked down your enemy, and they sprung a trap on you, nearly killed you. You managed to escape and stowed away on this vessel.
Gotcha.
You hear a bunch of people, like some workmen and some other sailors, making noises and just trying to get moving stuff around. You are in the very bowels of the ship. So what are you doing?
Am I behind some cargo, or am I just
Yes, you are behind some cargo for sure. You're
I'm
actually
just gonna sit there and listen and see if I can hear where I am.
Okay, go ahead and roll perception with disadvantage for me.
Gotcha.
So you hear very unfamiliar seabirds. They're normal sounds that you would consider with the ocean, but they are not familiar ones to you.
Okay. I'm guessing there's still people down there moving stuff around in the bowels of the ship.
Yeah. You do hear some people moving some things here and there.
I'm gonna see if I can listen to see what they're talking about.
Okay. So listening to them, you, unlike everybody else, have a pretty good knowledge of Common, actually, as well as your own language. And that reason is because you grew up on the streets.
Yeah.
And so you've been in constant contact with people from all over the place. Also, Gran made sure that she gave you proper teaching and made sure that, as well educated as a street boy could be, and all of that stuff, right?
Since my intelligence is still 6.
She did the best with what she could. Like, she understood you weren't going to be like a brain surgeon or anything like that, but she knew you'd do all this. So you hear them saying their accents, their common accents, are weird. Go ahead and give me a perception check on that too. Just see if you can kind of figure that out.
Perception. Probably not going to get as lucky as I was with that first one.
Oh, look at that. You got an 18. That's just as good. All right. Yeah, so you can tell that they're speaking Common to each other, but their accents are different. You can tell from the people you've interacted with in the streets and the people you've pickpocketed and things like that, that one of them is Earthkin speaking Common. The other is a Firefolk speaking Common. There's just some accent things that are kind of different. And then the third person comes walking in who is speaking Water Clan dialect, basically.
Gotcha.
You can understand all of them, but it's just you have to listen a little bit harder. And they're basically they're complaining about the long trip. They feel like they made it there in record time. This is a lot of their first times to this island. One of the Water Clan person is saying he's going to try to make it up to, they have shore leave for a while, so he's going to try to make it up to the actual clan homelands. And the Firefolk guy says he's got a grandfather and grandmother here. The Earthkin guy, he's like, I've never been out of the kingdom, so this is all new to me. But they drop the name of the island. With your perception, you are able to catch that.
Here, I have it. Kairiku.
Kairiku, that's right. So you're on Kairiku Island. You weren't one for geography, so it's cold, so you're probably either north of where you were or very, very, very far south.
Well, the journey home begins.
All right. After a little while, they kind of make their way out, and some boom rats that have kind of made their nests around you.
Wait, did you say boom rats?
Boom, B-O-O-M.
Boom,
oh, yeah, I was thinking like some mini baboon rodents. I was about to lose my mind.
Yeah, no. They're not like that.
Please.
Okay.
Okay, you know what? Yeah, okay. They have.
That's gross. That's abhorrent. This doesn't need to exist.
It has the face. So it has the face of a bonobo on it, and so I guess so basically a pygmy chimp, and they have like the face of a bonobo. And like the hooked kind of like ringtail of them, but
just
they're
the body of the rat.
But like the bodies and stuff, kind of like of the rat. Like they're bigger, obviously, because like they're like proportional, but they're more rat sized than they are, chimp sized.
Imagine getting bitten by one of those.
Oh god.
And they have like chimp teeth, but they have like really like buck tooth like fronts, like for their incisor stuff for like the rats.
Honestly, at this point, I'd rather get bit by a rat than by whatever this is.
It's like, fuck this. So anyways, Bono rats are kind of scurrying about. They're huddling up, closer in their colonies to kind of keep warm. But they are screeching as like birds are flying around. They're trying to keep away from the birds. But they're also trying to make their way down like the gang wire stuff down to the shore. And after that, after you see the people leave or you hear the people leave, you don't hear any noise in your area besides the scurrying of the animals and some other rustling cargo.
I'm gonna poke my head out just to check to see if the coast is clear, because I'm not trying to get jumped.
All right, so you step out and you look around, and there's just a big hallway running down the entire keel of the boat with freight and stuff stacked on either side, just other bits of cargo. And you see a ladder in the back and a staircase that leads up to the deck above. You're about 3 decks below. You're on the 3rd deck.
Okay, I'm gonna start making my way up.
Okay, are you gonna go through the staircase or on the ladder?
I'm gonna go on the ladder.
Okay, so you make your way back to the ladder. Climbing up the ladder is a little bit difficult for you because of your your shoulder still feels like it's dislocated a little bit, or it's just not quite in the right place in the socket. You've put your fingers back into place, but like you're just aching all over the place and bruised and battered.
Stop the ladder.
Yeah, so you're climbing up the ladder, and you get to the top, and you manage to go ahead and give me a strength check. I just want to see how easily you do this. 21. Okay, yeah, great. You with one hand you manage to go like and tie the whole thing up. You push it open. You are greeted with like bitter cold but salty air. And as you raise yourself up, you're kind of blinded by the light, to be absolutely honest. Your eyes take quite a while to focus in, seeing as you've been in the bowels of the ship for however long you've been in here. And you make your way, kind of pull yourself up off it and roll out and lay on the deck. Now, normally the cold would be bitter and it would be uncomfortable and you wouldn't like it too much, but it feels rather soothing on your wounds as you lay on the like wooden deck of this boat. So you're there at the very stern of the boat.
I'm gonna start just trying to make my way off the boat and just start exploring around.
Okay, go ahead and give me a stealth check real quick.
Oh, you already know I'm gonna fail this one. Oh, maybe not. Yes, I am.
Yeah. There you go. All right. So with a wonderful stealth check of 3, you're laying out on the boat. You're laying on the deck, and you sit up, and you didn't realize that you actually just crawled up into the middle of a group of the sailors that are all just standing around there, kind of moving stuff around the boat. But they're all getting ready to leave down the gangplank. They all just stop and look at you and go, "Hey, what are you doing here?" They go to grab you and kind of like hoist you up. Go ahead and give me an opposed athletics check here.
I was gonna try not to do this, but here we go. Athletics check.
Not him, too.
No.
You can't keep me down.
So they try to grab you as a stowaway. They grab you, and your training kicks in real quick, and you just slap the arm back, give him a shot to the gut, and another quick punch, quick jabs, and hop up to your feet. So they are now hostile at you.
I was trying not to do this, but here we go.
So, are you going to stand and fight them? Or are you going to try to get away?
I'm going to at least attempt to talk my way out of this first.
Okay, alright. Talk fast.
Well, to be fair, before you start throwing punches, y'all tried to grab me first. I was attacked, and then I kind of just fell down here, so to speak.
So yeah, but you're a stowaway. We got to detain all stowaways. Do you understand that, we could get in a lot of trouble? There's a lot of, international things in place here. We all have passports. Do you have a passport?
Or you could hypothetically pretend you never saw me, and we both can be about our business.
And they all kind of look at each other, and they're like, we don't really care about the passport thing. Okay. How much gold you got?
That's a good question. I've been asleep for however long this boat's been on the ocean, so let me check my pockets.
Okay. So check your pockets. What do you got?
Oh, no. Actually, I think I was broke from the last time when I got out.
Let's see. You have...
Again, it's been a year since I left prison, so I don't know how much gold I would have accrued during that time of gallivanting across the Earth Kingdom.
Well, you actually got quite a bit of stuff from Granny. Oh, but you did put a lot of it back into... okay, yeah, so... And to build all of the stuff that you needed to build for your gallivanting. Yeah, let's say you got like 10 gold to your name. We'll just...
I have 10 gold in my pocket right now.
And they're like, 10 gold? Well, I guess you would have bought a ticket if you had more than that. Like, okay. You give us that 10 gold and... We'll get you out of here.
Works for me. I'm not trying to fight anyone here. I just need to get off so I can get back home.
And they're like, okay, no problem. So you take out the coins and hand them to him, and the one guy who's been talking to you kind of goes. A crane arm comes down and picks you up by like the scruff of your clothes, and they tie like a belt around you and like hoist you up, and you're now hoisted up over the side, and he just goes, "I said we'd get you off the boat. I didn't say how." And
I can't. You know what? To be fair, I can't be too mad. So I'll get you back for this one, but thank you anyway.
Yeah, and so they carry you off to the side and splash, drop you into the water. And they just kind of start like laughing at you and like high-fiving and like, you know, comedic cartoonish bullies, and then walk away basically. You are now in the Arctic Ocean.
Ooh. Like the Arctic Ocean?
Yes, the Arctic Ocean.
Like
okay,
the real world Arctic?
I went back with my injuries or drowned in the first episode. Here we go.
Yeah. So go ahead and give me athletics then.
Oh man. Big biceps, don't fail me now. Oh, here we go. All right, let's go.
So it's 20. All right. So, you get over like the initial shock of just that, but there's the shock of your wounds already anyway. So it just all kind of just fades into the background as your adrenaline pumps, and your very strong arms and legs begin to kick off and swim towards the shore. After some labor, you manage to pull yourself ashore, and you are now off near some of like these smaller docks. There are like a bunch of like canoes and some little bit larger boats that are usually for like fishing, and some pleasure boats, but mostly just work boats over there. You pull yourself out of the harbor and are now on a frozen snowbank on the shores of this island.
How far away am I from the dock?
You are about 40 feet from this one right here.
Okay.
Not terribly far, but, you're not on it.
I'm going to see if I can find a captain or someone that looks official that is working at the dock.
Go ahead and roll perception for me. Wait a minute, are you going to tattle on these sailors?
It's like, sure as shit.
Okay, here we go.
No spite at the slightest.
No spite in the slightest. Yeah, so let me get this straight. Okay, go ahead. See if you can find a guy. You know what? I'm going to humor you. I'm going to say you found a guy that has so he's got a clipboard, and he's going over some manifests. He's wearing a parka, and he has a hat on, and it says PA for like Port Authority. And so he's there looking at, and so you stumble up to this man. Okay, what do you say?
Well, actually, before I stumble up to him, I just want to see if I could find him.
Yeah, he's there.
What do my clothes look like at the moment?
Very wet.
I mean that's very true.
Very wet and very bloody.
Alrighty.
Okay, so
It doesn't wash off, or?
No, well, I mean, it's
blood stained, like blood's gonna
it's stained in there. You're not as dirty as you were, but you're wet, and there are some blood stains on your shirt. They are starting to kind of dissipate, but they're more just kind of spreading than anything else really right now, because it's just kind of like
So it's like a red shirt.
Yeah, kind of, I guess.
Alright,
and then
so I'm gonna limp up to this guy.
Oh, okay. So you limp up to this guy and he goes, "Oh my God, by the spirits! Are you okay?"
No. I saw some people on that boat over there take some gold from a weird stranger, and then they let him off. I thought they beat me up as soon as I saw them. I'm guessing they're letting stowaways on the ship.
Okay. You're gonna need to roll a massive Deception check here for me. Okay, let's see what he rolls here. Okay. Oh my god. Okay, so let me get this straight. So, the stowaway, whom he probably saw dropped off the boat by the crane, and swim.
He was watching.
Yeah, was totally watching. You swim across. You managed to gaslight this guy so effing hard. Like, that wasn't me. I go on a normal. This is my normal, leisure swim through the harbor. I do this every day. Who the hell are you? Anyway, so he looks at you. He goes, oh, yep, that's the Iris. Yep, they take on some, less than reputable crew members. Firefolk and Earthkin.
Terrible people, firefolk.
But just let you know, just to make sure that no cargo might have been stolen or anything like that.
And he goes,
or anything illegal.
He goes, oh, well, thank you for letting me know. We'll work to lock down that ship right now. And he goes, yeah! He blows a whistle. A bunch of people, except he goes, lock her down! And he points to the very large ship there. The ship is just encased now, dock and all, with an giant ice wall all around it. So
with this, I make my leave.
All right. So you limp off. Go ahead and give me a Constitution save to see if you pass out. Because you are now very cold, very wet. You pass out. You take 5 steps away from the guy and collapse. He turns around and looks at you again, like kind of whistles around. And now we're going to move along here.
Oh, no.
That works. Blows the mind.
Alrighty, everybody, we're going to end this episode right here. Our recording session went a little bit long, so please look forward to episode 2, The Boy with the White Hair Part 2, coming up after our first episode of The Curse of Strahd. If you're enjoying the podcast so far, please remember to follow, like, subscribe, rate, review, whatever it is, wherever you listen to podcasts. It would be greatly appreciated, super helpful. And follow us on Instagram at diceandpodcast or email us at diceandconsequences@gmail.com. Attribution for all the sound effects are in the episode descriptions. The theme song and outro is called Firestone by Seth Baldwin. Join us next time on Dice and Consequences.
My speed, I think, is
these
45. So this map is not big enough.
It's not big enough.
Nope, that is not big enough. I'm gonna need to fix this. Unless
it would go differently.
Yeah, unless they live in a 4 square foot house. So there's that. Okay. Yeah, real quick. Pause. I'm gonna fix this real quick.
We'll edit this out.
It needs to be organic.
Exactly.
Just keep it all. Keep the struggle. It's fine.
That's content. It's good content.
Yes, indeed, it's good content. Oh crap! I got to figure out what the grid distance is here. Sell with.
Is this gonna take a sec?
Yes, this might take a second. Austin, real quick.
I have to pee so badly. I'll be right back.
All right. How do I? Okay, so I've got the grid cell. Oh, geez. Okay, I figured it out. So if I do.
How did you want to make these bigger? Did you just want to make the grid smaller?
Yeah. So I just went and said, okay, so now one square is 10 feet now.
Well, now you just made everything. I guess that's kind of okay.
Yeah. No, that's not quite what I want to do.
It would work though.
It would work, but it would throw all the measurements off for everything else.
You just have to make the entire map bigger. I think that's usually what I have to do.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see. So do I do cell width or do I do height and width? Okay, I'm gonna do height and width.
You have to do both.
Okay. So.
Well, it depends on how far you want to expand it, east or west or north or south.
Let's go. Let's see what this does. Okay, I just made it 50 by 50. Okay, yeah, so so you can you can make it now. Now we can I think we can do this now. Oh wait. Double checking. So where?
Okay, I'm back.
Let's go to 2. Let's see what that does. Nope.
This is why you don't drink a whole glass of water before you record.
There we go. Okay, yeah, there we go. Okay. All right. This is as good as it's gonna get. Okay. So all right.
And back in.
Okay. All right. Technical difficulties over. All right. So Usan, we fixed the map. All right. So how far are you going now?